Webmasterradio.fm proudly presents the longest-running program on affiliate marketing. Welcome to Affiliate Buzz. Our hosts, James and Arlene Martell, are here to inspire, inform, and motivate you with expert insight, interviews, and information that will increase your bottom line. Advance your affiliate marketing efforts every week on Affiliate Buzz. Now, please welcome James and Arlene.
Hi, it's James Martell here, and yes, welcome to edition number 349 of the Affiliate Buzz, where we're dedicated to sharing with you what is working today to help you make more money, take back control of your own time, and to break free of the proverbial rat race. Now, if you're joining us live here today on webmasterradio.fm, it's great to have you with us. And if you are joining us through a podcast on your smartphone, tablet, computer, or Wi-Fi radio, a very special welcome to you as well. And yes, I'm here with Arlene, and we have a couple of things to cover at the top of the show, and then I have an awesome guest joining us. Today, Ricky Shetty, a successful blogger, Amazon best-selling author, and host of the Blogging Mastery Workshop. And we are going to be talking about building a lifestyle business around your family, building up local communities using meetups to move more products, rock-solid advice for new bloggers. We're going to learn a little bit about what Ricky picked up writing his book. We're going to talk about how he also received over $30,000 worth of free products and services through his blog, and we're going to get some secrets so you can do the same. As usual, we'll talk about some successes and some failures. We'll get into the speed round in the last segment. And then, as usual, we'll wrap up everything with a little lifestyle chat, some dream building, and we'll talk about some trips and things coming up. Now, before Ricky joins us, just a reminder that Arlene and I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, October 19th to 21st, attending the Share Sale Think Tank 2014 at the Ballantine, Charlotte. And let me bring Arlene on. Going to be fun. Going to be fun again.
Well, it's going to be great. I always enjoy the Share Sale Think Tank.
Yeah, it's this is the 9th annual. You've attended most of them. I've attended them all. And Brian Littleton, President and CEO of Share Sale, always spoils us rotten, covers the tab for the hotel, the event, all the food, the networking, usually takes us off-site on a tour, and just does a first-class job taking care of us affiliates and also the merchants and the agencies and, of course, the retailers. Now, with this event, Arlene, I was having a quick look at the agenda, and as usual with any event, you got to kind of decide which sessions you're going to be sitting in on. And you and I usually, most of the time, split directions. You will head off to one session, I'll head off to another. You are someone who takes copious amounts of notes, and you're very good at capturing what was covered and then sharing it back with me. I'm going to be sitting through some of the advanced monetization sessions. They've got a session that I always enjoy, which is website reviews, and there's a new session called bonus/incentive creation. So I think it's going to be, in fact, I know it's going to be a couple of awesome days just hanging out with some of the coolest merchants and retailers and agencies in the affiliate marketing space. So really looking forward to that. And then I do know you and I, we've decided to bookend this conference with a little bit of a breakation, because we are going to be so far from home. We always like to take in some of the sites, and this one's a hot button to me. Where are we going after the conference?
So after the conference, we're going to head over to Memphis and go see Graceland. So that's been on our bucket list for a long time, to go visit Graceland, and I am so looking forward to this. You and I are huge Elvis fans. In fact, I'll be working in one room, and I'll hear Elvis playing in your office.
Elvis has helped me build a lot of websites over the years, I got to tell you.
There you go.
Having two monitors on the desktop, I can have him playing on YouTube on the left, and I can be working on the right.
There you go. So interesting. Graceland, I was just looking up a few stats on it. It's become one of the most visited private homes in America. They have over 600,000 visitors a year.
Wow.
Which would average out to about 50,000 in a month. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. It goes to show you the popularity just hasn't waned at all. And there's just so much. And they're adding to it all the time. In fact, tomorrow they're opening up, it's called the new Graceland Archives Experience. So it says starting August 8th guests will enjoy a live presentation at our new Graceland Archives studio. The presentation will showcase a special artifact from the Graceland Archives collection, and the guests will have the opportunity to hear stories, see related items, and learn more about the Graceland Archives. Wow. So that's perfect timing.
Wow. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Get to go on the Lisa Marie, his jet, his 707, and tour the, of course, the mansion, and just, I'm so looking forward to it. I can hardly even express myself.
There's the Automobile Museum and the Colonel's office, and there's so much to see, and it's going to be a fantastic trip. I can't wait.
I was looking just on a side note on the little Elvis memorabilia or little trivia. When he did Aloha from Hawaii in 1973, he was the number one. It was the largest broadcast of any single performer in history. And, of course, that was the first live satellite broadcast, period. And he still holds that record today.
Amazing.
Which is, what are we here? So 83, 93, 2003, 2014, over 40 years later. Incredible. Just and he makes more money today than he ever did. So, whoa. So now, before we get Ricky on, I thought it would be great just to have a little conversation. You know, we've been talking to a lot of people over the last few months here, and there is definitely a real common theme here with lifestyle, whether it was Vinny last week where they got whacked by that big hurricane that came into New York City. Sandy was called. Just completely devastated his house underwater. They could have very easily died. And his affiliate business really did carry them through that. That's not really the kind of lifestyle we're all looking for, but if it happens, it's sure nice to have a revenue stream that continues on. And then, of course, Matt Frary over in Colorado there, photos of him and his daughters and his wife, or daughter and son, always on trips and travel. I see them, they're in California again this week. They're attending the Legoland, and excuse me, they're out on one of the beaches in California. And then talking with Jim Kukral, and then you kind of shared a lot of it in episode number 345 as well. This whole idea of being able to break away from the regular grind and not have to do the commute and all this stuff. And we've been living this lifestyle for so long. I've made a real mental decision to actually pay more attention to it, so I don't take it for granted. And I was watching even yesterday a little thing. To us, could be a big deal to somebody who's slogging it out, building their website, wondering this is going to work for them, trying to make some money, maybe break free, get away from the boss, all the usual cliches, but they're true. And here we are yesterday. I was actually, let me go back 2 days. I was talking to a friend of mine, Sammy, and he wanted to see the Snowbirds, which is the Canadian Snowbirds jet flying team. Similar in the U.S., you'd have the Blue Angels or the U.S. Thunderbirds. We have a 9-team jet team that comes out and they do performances. And yesterday they happened to be coming out to White Rock, just 2 minutes from our home here, and they're buzzing the beach, and there's 9 jets, and it's a spectacular show. It's about half an hour long. And I say, Sam, are you going to go? And he says, I can't go. I don't get off work till 5, and then I got a 1-hour commute in from Vancouver, so I won't even get there till it's over. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, here you and I are. It's like 4 o'clock yesterday. I say, okay, let's go to the beach. Called up Shelby, and said, why don't you, let's meet down on the beach. Let's get down there a little early because it's going to be packed. So let's get some parking, and let's go down and you bring the blankets and stuff and bring the granddaughters, and we'll go down and get set up and wait for the show to start. So no big deal to us. But you forget when you're working for a living, and you remember the big commute in from Vancouver.
Yeah.
You miss so much.
You do. Like a lot of people commuting in, they're on the road for 45 minutes to an hour minimum every day, there and back. Just think about how much time that takes out of your family life.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So it's for those of you who are striving to make a lifestyle change and look at a business in the online world that can really give you that freedom and make you that money and all the stuff that we talk about. It's really a worthwhile goal. So Arlene has stepped away, but I think we got the basic idea here of building a business around a lifestyle, and which leads me to, of course, our guest Ricky Shetty, who is the owner and operator of a very family-friendly website called daddyblogger.com. where he writes about parenting from a father's perspective. Ricky's also the Amazon best-selling author of the book Wisdom from Daddies, in which he interviewed over 100 dads from around the world on fatherhood. And in addition, Ricky's also, of course, a very successful blogger, and he also runs a local successful event series in the Greater Vancouver area called YVR Media Group, which includes, or from the YVR Media Group, which includes YVR Bloggers, YVR Foodies, and YVR Dads. Ricky, welcome to the Affiliate Buzz.
Thanks so much, James. It's great to be on your show today.
Now, you and I, we've met up a couple of times over the last, I'd say, 2 to 6 weeks. I met up with you at Matt Astafan's Internet Masterminds meetup in Vancouver. And then again over at Michelle Abrams, West Coast Podcasters Network. And I got to say, it's been a while since I've attended some meetups, and I must say it's sure nice to meet up with you face to face. We do, of course, live in the online world, as do you, but you do a lot of local events where you teach people the fine art of developing a successful blog. And you, with your meetup group, before we kind of jump into to talking about that and talking about your book and talking about how to receive free products and services and your experience with receiving over $30,000 in free products and services, and then of course your family and your lifestyle. Let's talk about you first. Let's dig into Ricky here and talk about you personally, your history, not necessarily your business, but kind of give us everything leading up to December 2012, where you kicked off the blogger. So give us the backstory here.
Sure, James. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, my name's Ricky Shetty, and I'm known in Vancouver as the Daddy Blogger. But before I was a Daddy Blogger, I was just, born and raised here in Vancouver, graduated from the local university, UBC, with a degree in psychology. Then I went over to Japan to teach English. Was trying to figure out what to do for career. So I was like, hey, why not go overseas, get some extra money, travel around Asia. So I actually did the backpacking around Europe thing,
cool.
Teach English in Japan thing. Then I studied in Australia, came back to Vancouver, and I went back into teaching, but I wasn't really happy with the 9-to-5 teaching job. So I went into more event production, event planning. So I started organizing business networking events. And then around that time, I got married. And then, a year later, we were about to have our first kid. And that's when, I guess, the crisis happened. I didn't want to be this, workaholic dad and not really present in the life of my kids, because I'd seen that story in my own childhood and my dad wasn't really present. So I didn't want to repeat that story, and that's when I really got into the blogging and the online marketing and trying to leverage the power of the internet to create a lifestyle, like you mentioned and you talked about with your wife Arlene, about having the freedom to hang out with your kids, the freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, right? So I believe I created that slowly, but now I have more or less a full-time income, just blogging, event planning, and doing entrepreneurial work, which sometimes is more than 9 to 5,
yeah.
But it's still at my own time and pace. I can set my own schedule.
You must experience the same thing, because a lot of times, we talk about time freedom, and I must say I've been one of these guys for so long that I take it for granted, really, because I've lived it for so long. And as I said at the top of the show, I've decided to really pay more attention to the little things that we get to do, because we have a little bit more freedom than, say, somebody who works that 9-to-5 job. And I remember talking to Arlene a few sessions ago about how nice it was. And it sounds like, and from the photos on your websites, your kids are quite young. And when we got started, our kids were young. And now we've all heard, and you've probably heard it already, how fast they grow. And you kind of say, well, it can't be that fast. Well, here we are. Now we have kids who have kids, and it's amazing how quick it goes. But isn't it nice just to be able to organize your time yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Like even today, for example, right now it's like just past 2:00, and I am talking on Skype with you, James. I don't have to be at a 9-to-5 job, worried about my boss or, worried about anyone. I'm just free to be on a Skype call with you, for example, or free to be at my kids with my kids in the park. So I really love the freedom aspect of what the online lifestyle provides.
Take us back, if you would, to December 2012 when you started daddyblogger.com. Tell us that story and what led you to create that site.
Sure. I mean, when I was going to be a dad for the first time, again, I think there was a little bit of a crisis because, tell you a little bit of the backstory, even the deeper and the more important backstory is my parents split up. And I didn't really have that strong father figure or the strong family unit growing up. So there was a lot of fears around getting married and also having kids. So with those fears, I was in a dilemma. What do I do them with those fears? I could run away from them or face them, right? So part of facing those fears was really to understand what it means to be a husband and a father. So part of it was, processing fatherhood, and part of the way I process things is I write it down, and instead of just processing in my mind or talking to someone else, I basically process it. I used to process it in a journal, just in a written journal, but now I created a blog where I can actually process it. So the first reason I started Daddy Blogger is just for myself, to process what it means to be a dad. The second reason I started Daddy Blogger is really for my kids, because I want to leave a legacy for my kids. So when they're like, right now there's two kids. One is 2 years old, her name's Rianne. The other is 8 months old, his name's Ryan. So these two little kids, they probably aren't going to remember much under 5 years old. Like looking back at me and probably yourself, James, you probably don't remember many memories before 5. Nope. But with the blog, I'm actually creating memories and, like basically what did we do in the summer of 2014? Where I've documented all the road trips we've done, all the family adventures, all the activities, etc. So they'll actually be able to look back and say, okay, this is what we did in summer of 2014. This is what we did in Christmas of 2014. This is what we did throughout the year, right? It's a daily archive for my kids. So started for myself, then my kids, and then it's for others. It's for the readers, for our social media followers, for other dads, other parents, other people like who are going to be dads who maybe have the same questions that I did about how can I be the best dad possible. I didn't have a good dad. How do I not repeat those mistakes? My parents divorced. How do I have a strong marriage, right? These are probably common questions that men face and people face, but we don't really vocalize those questions normally. We kind of just keep it secret or silent, and it kind of bothers us, but unless we vocalize them, we can't find solutions to them, right? So I guess I'm really strong in vocalizing those questions and also providing, hopefully, some solutions through my blog. So that's a little bit of the backstory of why I started Daddy Blogger. First for myself, then my kids, and then for my readers.
You're so right on so many levels there. Even with the idea that they won't remember unless you document it, and our granddaughter, Brooke, she's 4 years old, 4 years and 2 months old, and great example. She came over yesterday, and Arlene pulls out, we bought her a Barbie ride-on car, a little electric car you sit on. It's all kind of decked out in pink and Barbie, and she pushes the button, she could ride it. And Arlene's like, realized very quickly that Brooke didn't remember riding this last year. She forgot. She's got no recollection of her getting this little bike last year. And that's stunning because it's like that is gone unless you document. And then you talk about, guys are not overly vocal on this type of topic. So it sounds to me that you've also tied in what you've learned at UBC, University of British Columbia, and your schooling there into your business as well. Is that a fair guess?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the reasons I study psychology is just to understand the human nature and understand my own childhood, for example, and to understand people generally, right? So I've definitely integrated my studies in psychology into everything I'm doing now about marriage, fatherhood, and family.
Awesome. So let me get a couple of my standard questions up front, and then I've got a whole bunch of questions for you, which we'll cover after the first break here. But let's go with the first one here. How long did it take you to see your first real success? Doesn't need to be absolutely monetary success, but when did you see your first success online, and what was that success?
I would say within the first 6 months. I mean, it's hard to determine exactly what the first success is, but within 2 months. So I launched in December of 2012. In January of 2013, I actually had one post go viral. I wrote about Earl's, which is a local restaurant chain, and basically they don't really provide high chair stations or diaper change stations in their restaurants. And I wrote a blog post about just my feelings around that and why I felt Earl's should accommodate kids or children or families, right? And I wrote this blog post. It became viral. It went on Reddit, and all of a sudden all these people were coming to my blog and commenting from Reddit. And then it got a whole bunch of media attention too, because all these media personalities wanted to interview me on my thoughts as a dad blogger about how I felt about Earls. And then it hit about 10,000 views, and that's pretty significant for a new blogger to hit 10,000 views on one post within 2 months. So that was my first success in terms of just like a massive boom of one post. And then within the first, 3 to 6 months, I started getting free products, which was another big surprise because I was just starting to write a blog just to process my thoughts, as I said earlier. And then all of a sudden, these companies would approach me online, and they would just email me and say, hey, we see that you have this website targeting parents. Would you be open to reviewing a new stroller or a new car seat or new toys and even cars? So all of a sudden, like in the first 3 to 6 months, I started getting all these products to review. And then slowly the money started coming in too. Like these companies would approach me and saying, would you be open to doing a sponsored post in return for sometimes it's $100 or even more. So it became from just like marketing it to, getting a viral post, getting free products, and then into monetization.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can see we are up against a break. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we get back, we'll dig into that some more, definitely in depth into the free product, hot button for everyone, I'm sure, and then also talk about your biggest failure, and also talk about what you've learned from your book, and then some advice you can offer up to new bloggers, and a bunch more. We'll do that all and more right after the break.
More Affiliate Buzz coming up after we hear from our sponsors.
Hey, this is Danny Sullivan to talk to you about Bruce Clay Incorporated. They've made Inc. Magazine's list of growing private businesses and have exhibited and sponsored at my conferences since the very beginning. You've seen their search engine relationship chart, or you've read their SEO code of ethics, so you know they're SEO experts. But did you know they can help you with PPC, web analytics, web design, marketing strategy, promotion, and branding? Yep, get everything you need for success in the online marketplace. You can check it out from the professionals at Bruce Clay Incorporated. For over 10 years with offices worldwide, they've got the answers you need. Check them out today at bruceclay.com.
Building better search engine rankings takes the right formula. Tracking those rankings is super simple. All you need is authoritylabs.com. Authority Labs uses automated daily rank tracking tools to monitor your site's performance or leverage their API to build your own tools. No matter what animal-labeled algorithms affect your ranking, you should be using Authority Labs. Unlimited users for no additional cost and white labeling can help keep your clients updated and save countless hours of creating reports. Whether you're running sites with just a few or millions of keywords, what you need is authoritylabs.com.
InternetMarketingNinjas.com is the online dojo of the highly trained and skilled Internet Marketing Ninjas. Disavow documents, reconsideration requests, panda and penguin penalties. Let our superior SEO ninjas confront all of your link-related issues. The Internet Marketing Ninjas are equipped to master any marketing exercise, content creation, authorship, link building, PPC, and more. Plus, build more buzz for your brand with our social media marketing strategies. Discover all that the Internet Marketing Ninjas can do for you. Visit the online dojo now at InternetMarketingNinjas.com.
Time now to hear some more Affiliate Buzz on WebmasterRadio.fm. Here's James and Arlene.
Arlene had to step away, but I do have Ricky Shetty on the line, successful blogger, Amazon best-selling author, and the host of the Blogging Mastery Workshop with us today. Now, Ricky, let's talk about your biggest failure. We all love to talk about our successes, but we've all heard the old adage that we learn from our failures. And goodness knows I've made enough mistakes and had enough failures over the last 15 years online that I could probably write 5 books on the subject of what not to do. But in your particular case, what would you say has been your biggest failure or setback, and what did you learn from it?
That's a great question. I think I've had so many failures, it's hard to just pick one. I mean, it's a good thing because I fail so much. Finally, I'm just starting to succeed. The more failure, the better, because it leads you to success. So in terms of just picking one, I would say the whole area of doing too many things. Like even now, I feel like I'm doing too many things. So I have daddyblogger.com. I also have multiple different businesses I'm running, YVR Bloggers, YVR Foodies, YVR Dads. I'm launching YVR Marketing, YVR Mastermind. So it's it's actually quite often really difficult to manage multiple things and be successful at all of them. And I think we as entrepreneurs, we tend to be, seeking the bright, shiny object, starting a new business, starting a new venture. I think that's in our nature as entrepreneurs and in our mindset as creatives. So what I realized in the past, even before I started Daddy Blogger, is whenever I've done too many things at once, they've all been mediocre or unsuccessful. When I focus just on one thing, like I did with Daddy Blogger, for the first year and a half, all I did was focus on Daddy Blogger. Let's try to treat this as a full-time business and try to generate full-time income in it. And then when I felt it was enough of a success, enough of a stabilization, then I started branching off into my other business ventures. And I feel that's been a good model to follow. Just like build up one, create it successful, and then build another one, and also partner up with other people to help you build those things. So with my other business ventures, I actually have partners that help me run them. So it's not just me running like 5 or 7 other things. So I would say the whole area of focus has been one of my weaknesses, and learning from the lack of focus has helped me to be more focused now.
The affiliate marketing space in which I reside and live, and most of the listeners are lots of bloggers. We call ourselves affiliates in a lot of cases, but there's definitely a huge crossover there. And one of the things that we always talk about in our industry as well is affiliates get easily distracted by shiny objects, and it's such a truism. I remember when I got started, same idea. Like most, I think, I still have that same challenge myself, and try to keep things focused and not starting the next project just because it looks cool and I know it will be fun. And every time we split our efforts, we've taken something away from something to give it to something else. So something's going to, slide a little bit, if not a lot more. Talk about this $30,000 worth of free products and services. Of course, we've got a lot of writers who are listeners. Your particular case, you gave us a couple of hints there. Give us more of that backstory and how that all came about, and then give us some secrets on actually doing that ourselves for the bloggers and the writers.
Sure. Yeah, I have some tips and suggestions around that. With me, when I first started, I think I would say generally it's good to have some kind of a base readership. So that readership doesn't have to be massive, but it needs to be targeted. So it's really important to figure out your target audience. So in my case, it's Vancouver entrepreneurial new dads. So I'm really highly specific and niched. Yep. So I'm looking for Vancouver dads who have kids under 5. And that's my target market. So you actually, James, who have grandkids, aren't my ideal target audience because So in terms of just getting your readers, because at the end of the day, the advertisers, the sponsors, they're going to be looking to work with you primarily to reach your readers, right? So in terms of how I started it, at first I would actually create a partnership letter. Almost like an email template where I'd send it to different sponsors. So I'll give you an example of travel. So when I first started Daddy Blogger, we were doing a lot of family travel, just little road trips to the Okanagan, to Sunshine Coast, to Bowen Island, Vancouver Island, Seattle, etc. What I would do there is just say, my name is Ricky Shetty. I'm known in Vancouver as a Daddy Blogger. My monthly views are about 20,000 views a month. I have about 20,000 plus on my social media. I have about 300,000 views on my YouTube channel. We're coming to the Okanagan. We'd love to review different things in the Okanagan. Would it be possible for you to put us up for 3 nights or 2 or 3 nights in a hotel in return for a blog review and a video review? That's my general pitch when I do travel, but it could be similarly applied to a children's toy, right? I can say same thing. My name's Ricky Shetty. I would love to review your product on my blog and share with my followers. So it's a standard, if you want to call it a pitch letter. I prefer the term a partnership letter because I look at my sponsors and advertisers as partners. So I'm helping them, they're helping me. We're all almost co-branding, or I'm a brand ambassador for them. But most importantly, it's helping my readers, because my readers are also potentially going to be going to Okanagan and Sunshine Coast, etc. They're also going to be wanting to use different products and services to meet the needs of their families. So I look at it as a triple benefit, a benefit for me because I'll get a free product or service, or even sometimes cash. The sponsor will get marketing and brand association, and my readers will get informed a knowledge base from another dad, right? So that's basically how I started, and I found after the first year when I had built up credibility, and I also worked with a lot of sponsors, so I worked with maybe 50 to 70 different sponsors. So after I'd done that, now it's pretty much all the sponsors are targeting me because I'm highly ranked in Google. If you just search that Daddy Blogger, I'm pretty much number 1, first page, first position. So all these sponsors will approach me now and saying, hey, we're, for example, Lexus. So Lexus approached me and said, we'd like to fly you to Nashville and review these new cars. So that actually happened just last week, James, and I'm not sure if you saw my Facebook about that, but I was in Nashville. Yeah, I was in Nashville, flown over there by Lexus, all expense paid, hotel, food, flight, etc. The only thing I had to pay was souvenirs. And in return, I obviously blogged about Lexus. I shared it across my social media. I'm still talking about it here on the show, and I'm talking about it in all my speaking engagements. So I'm talking really highly favorably about the new Lexus NX, this SUV. Plus, so they help me by flying me over there to test drive cars. I'm helping them, and also my readers are potential Lexus buyers, right? So again, it goes to that triple win: the win for the readers, the win for me, and the win for the sponsors. So I would say those are general principles. The other things I would suggest in terms of getting free stuff or paid stuff would be creating some kind of a media kit. Media kit could be a 1-pager or a 10-pager, or anywhere in between. But a general standard 1-page media kit would include things like, what's the purpose of your blog? What are your vision, mission, and values, right? What are your social media influence? How many followers? How many email subscribers? What's your monthly views? What's your unique visitors? So those kind of metrics around your readership. And even some of the sponsors you worked with in the past, you might want to mention any media coverage you had. And then just a way to contact you. And you might want to put the rates, too, of how much it costs for advertising, how much it costs for sponsored posts, how much it costs to do a video review or some tweets for the company, etc. So I would say a media kit's important, a partnership letter is important, and leveraging your other sponsors. So the other sponsors you work with, leverage them to get new sponsors.
You mentioned just a wealth of information there. When you put together Daddy Blogger and you came up with the concept of daddyblogger.com, were you thinking far enough ahead that you were looking to sponsors and that they would need to also, in addition, be able to understand what you were doing? Daddy blogging is pretty clear right off the bat. And then having such a targeted market of Vancouver dads with kids under 5, when you kind of organized that and planned that, were you thinking sponsorships down the road?
Yes and no. I mean, I did have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail kind of thing, right? So I did have a tentative plan about, I want to monetize this thing. I want to get advertisers. I'd like to get free stuff. Because what I was doing was studying other bloggers. So I was studying the mom blogging community. And the mom bloggers are highly influential. It's a huge targeted market for potential advertisers because the buying power is traditionally with the woman, right? So the mom bloggers were doing it really well. And I was just like, hey, these mom bloggers are doing it really well, but there's no real dads who are writing about blogging, and why can't dads also have a voice in this parenting equation, right? So I just saw the missing piece. Like the dads globally are a huge market segment, right? That's probably in the millions, if not billions, of people, and they're really underserviced. Like in terms of just books, resources, websites, blogs. There's not many resources specifically targeting us dads. It's mostly for the moms, mostly about pregnancy, hormones, delivery, etc. So I just felt there was a need for a voice for a dad, so that's why I created it. When I saw the need, I just filled the need. And then I did have a tentative plan in terms of getting sponsors. Even from day one with the Daddy Blogger website, I actually had advertised with Daddy Blogger. I had some friends who sold baby products. I put them on there. Even though they weren't paying me, I just like, hey, I want to create a position that I am already having advertisers, and I already am advertising from day one. Because even though I had no readers and from day one, I still had my social media followers. I still had some kind of influence, right? So I did have a somewhat of a plan to monetize. A year now that it's been a year and a half, I had no idea I was going to get flown to Nashville or all these places, right? I had no idea Lexus would want to work with me. Like those things came at me by surprise, and those are obviously pleasant surprises. But I think you still need to be intentional from the beginning about, yes, I want to monetize this thing. Yes, I want to get advertisers. Yes, I want to make money blogging.
Yes. Absolutely. Good advice. Great advice. So we are coming up against another break. Let's do this. I want to talk to you about your locally built communities, the YVR bloggers, YVR foodies, and YVR dads. And after the break, we'll also let, if you would, tell everybody exactly what YVR stands for, because I know listeners out of the Greater Vancouver area probably don't know. We'll do that more after the break.
Sure.
More affiliate buzz coming up after we hear from our sponsors.
InternetMarketingNinjas.com is the online dojo of the highly trained and skilled Internet Marketing Ninjas. Disavow documents, reconsideration requests, Panda and Penguin penalties. Let our superior SEO ninjas confront all of your link-related issues. The Internet Marketing Ninjas are equipped to master any marketing exercise, content creation, authorship, link building, PPC, and more. Plus, build more buzz for your brand with our social media marketing strategy. Discover all that the Internet Marketing Ninjas can do for you. Visit the online dojo now at internetmarketingninjas.com.
When you started your business, you first listened to your professors. Now that your business is growing and gaining ground, you only seek out professionals. PPC Professionals, an industry leader for highly optimized search marketing campaigns with over 30 years of combined management experience. Our professional approach to every campaign helps you find every avenue of revenue so that you can not only stay ahead of your competitors, but get a return on your investment and increase your bottom line. PPC Professionals, personal, professional, PPC services. PPCprofessionals.com.
Before you painstakingly create another label or drag yourself to the post office, set a course to ShipStation, your key to e-commerce shipping nirvana. Save time by easily importing orders from wherever you sell, like Amazon, eBay, and over 40 others. Save money with discounted USPS rates and a free USPS account. Automate manual tasks through bulk label and invoice printing, custom shipping rules, and much more. WebmasterRadio.fm listeners get an additional 30 days free after the free 30-day trial. Go to ShipStation.com/WebmasterRadio now. Shipping Nirvana starts here.
Time now to hear some more affiliate buzz on WebmasterRadio.fm. Here's James and Arlene.
Arlene has stepped away, but I do have Ricky Shetty, successful blogger, Amazon best-selling author, and the host of the Blogging Mastery Workshop with us today. Ricky, now let's talk about your Vancouver-based communities. This is going to be interesting to my listeners for, I think, a number of reasons. Firstly, you've organized your website around a highly targeted niche, and that's something that affiliate marketers have a tendency to kind of they think too broadly. Instead of thinking about a particular aspect, they want to go wide, as we would call it. We want to do a website about golf versus doing a website about a particular aspect of golf and getting really good at your particular case. You've not only done a masterful job of selecting your target market, but also you've geographically set your boundaries, by the sounds of it, to for the most part Metro Vancouver. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with running all these YVR brands and businesses, I'm very highly focused on the YVR Vancouver. It's a code name for Vancouver, and it's also the airport code. So that's how I came up with the YVR. The other nicknames would be Van City or 604, and that's why that's what I'm focused on, really building up the Vancouver community.
And then you've monetized your site through sponsorships and advertising, by the sounds of it. Also, do you run any affiliate programs?
Yeah, so there's three main income generators for blogging, just generally. So the main way to make income blogging is through selling your own work, selling your own products or services. So if you don't have any products or services to sell, then you can go in affiliate marketing. And then the third is advertising and sponsorships. But really how I generate revenue primarily is selling my own stuff through my sites and through my social media. So selling my own workshops, selling my own events, doing integrated blogger campaigns. So I'm selling my own stuff primarily. And then I also sell other people's stuff. So I'll sell affiliate products. I'll also sell events. I'll promote other events that someone else organizes, and I'll get anywhere from 30 to 50 to even higher percentage. And then again, it's the flat advertisers and sponsors. So own products, affiliate products, and advertising.
Tell us about your experience, if you would, with running the local events. I imagine they're all meetups, I would think, and just give us kind of the background there, and then how you use those to actually monetize your own products.
Sure. Like Daddy Blogger, my highly targeted niche is Vancouver entrepreneurial dads with new kids, right? So I also created specific hyper niches around different communities locally. So I have YVR Bloggers, which is just a community of local Vancouver bloggers. We meet up for education and networking. So monthly we put on events where we bring in guest speakers on the subject of blogging. So everything from branding your blog to marketing your blog to SEO to monetizing your blog, how to work with sponsors, how to create a media kit, etc. So that's the blogging, YVR Bloggers. Then I also created something called YVR Foodies, and that's basically a community of local Vancouver food lovers. And there's also a lot of food bloggers, but they're just general people who love food. And we go to different restaurants. We have guest speakers about health and nutrition, diet. We also get to know the owners of the restaurant and the head chefs. So it's just building a local community around food. And the third big brand I built is YVR Dads, which is a local community of Vancouver dads. Because, it's usually the moms hanging out. There's the mom kid play dates, the mom support groups in churches and community centers and libraries. But us dads, we kind of feel left out. Like, I don't know about you, James, but when you had young kids, I don't know if you hung out with other dads. But I don't think traditionally dads hang out with other dads, learning and talking about fatherhood. Usually we talk about sports or politics or or just business. I mean, that's like you and me when we usually talk about business. We don't talk about, hey, let's see your baby pictures and all that, right?
That's right.
It's not really a macho masculine thing to do. But with the whole YVR Dads thing, it is a cool thing to do because then we create an intentional space where dads can talk about daddyhood stuff.
That's cool.
So those are the three communities, and my goal with all those is to transform Vancouver through the power of community building.
Sounds like an amazing plan, and my hat's off to you.
Thank you, James.
Let's shift gears a little bit here. I got a speed round for you. This is always something we spring on you. 10 real fun, real quick questions just to get us to know a little bit more about you. Windows or Mac?
I'm a huge Mac person, Apple all the way.
Man, I'm losing it these days. I think I'm the last 10. I got to start tracking this. I'm like 2 for 10 right now. I'm a Windows guy.
Once you go Mac, you don't go back.
I keep hearing this. Yeah. Do you have a favorite internet marketing conference, and what is it?
Good question. I would say the Canada Marketing Summit is a local Vancouver summit. Learning about, and you spoke at that one, James?
Yeah. Great conference. It was a lot of fun, and like to see more conferences in the Greater Vancouver area. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite success quote?
That's a good question. I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. Drawing a blank. I can't think of a quote right now. I have so many. I have too many quotes that I can't think of one. Probably the one about your network is your net worth. I think Robert Kiyosaki said that. Network is your net worth.
Good one. Mm-hmm. Are you a cat or a dog person?
I'm a dog person. I don't have them, but I like them.
Okay. This one isn't. I didn't bait you on this one. Dream car.
Dream car would be probably a Lamborghini Diablo.
Awesome. What was the speed of your dial-up modem when you got started, or your internet connection speed?
I don't remember. I'm not a techie, so I have no idea what the actual speed was.
Top 3 things a new blogger should be doing.
Good question. Creating a media kit, building up their social media following, and trying to find paid sponsors.
Favorite business book?
Favorite business book would probably be Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, awesome book. I love it when he explains what an asset and a liability is. You remember that?
Yeah, that was a good one, definitely.
So an asset is something that will feed you, and a liability will be something that will eat you. And how shocked I was when he went on to carefully explain and prove that our home is not an asset. It is an asset, actually. It's an asset of the bank. Mm-hmm. And although, of course, we need a home, but brilliant book. And then last time you were on an airplane, and where were you going?
Oh, I think I just shared that story. I was flying from Vancouver to Nashville for the Lexus press preview.
I must say, getting a chance to interview you and guys like you, everybody has a cool story of where they were going. Most of the time seems it's business related, or there's a business component to it. And very rarely do I hear from anybody that says I haven't been on an airplane, and it's usually very recently. So let's do this. Let's kind of move into the last section here, and let me ask you a few more, if I could, a little bit more personal questions. What do you enjoy most about having a successful online business?
I would say the freedom to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. So I will say, we talked about lifestyle at the beginning, so that's my favorite thing, the lifestyle freedom.
You bet. What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I love going to self-improvement workshops, events, seminars, conferences, anything that will help me get better.
Do you have a favorite holiday spa, destination, favorite hotel? Where and why?
I would love to go to Hawaii just because I like hot weather. I'm not a big fan of the rain. So anywhere hot and anywhere with blue skies.
Yeah. Can't go wrong there. Mm-hmm. What's the most rewarding thing you've been able to do for someone because of the success you've had?
I was able to help an 18-year-old new dad not have an abortion with the kid. So I basically helped mentor him into having the kid. So that's been, I would say, one of my greatest success stories, bringing a new kid into the world, new dad, 18 years old.
Awesome story. What advice would you give to new bloggers? You've given them the 3 things they should focus on. Mm-hmm. What other advice can you offer them?
Create a mission or a purpose around your blog. So my goal is to change the world one day at a time. Create a target market. So like I said, Vancouver entrepreneurial dad. So to figure out your target market. And I would say just start building up a following. That would be the 3 first things to do.
Terrific. Would you please take a moment here, share your contact information? We didn't get a chance to talk about your book. Tell us about your book, also where people can find it, and maybe rattle off your websites again if you'd like, and anything else you'd like to share.
Sure, yeah. To end off, I'd love to connect with you. I'm always looking to connect with other dads. If you're a dad, you're welcome to submit a guest blog post. I also love interviewing dads, just like how you're interviewing entrepreneurs and affiliate marketers. I like to do the same thing just with fathers. So, and if you're a mom or if you're a woman, send the dads over to my site. So it's the site's just daddyblogger.com. The book I wrote is called Wisdom from Daddies. It's where I interviewed 100 different dads from around the world about fatherhood. I put those in a book form, became an Amazon bestseller, and you can buy those on my website. And then there's a link to all my groups. If you're a local Vancouver listener, you can connect with my groups there. And if you're overseas, then just connect with me at daddyblogger.com and across all my social media. I love people and I love connecting.
That's so awesome. Ricky Shetty, thank you for inspiring us today with your personal story and all the generosity in sharing your thoughts and your ideas. Thank you so much.
And thank you to you for having me on your show, James.
You bet. And to our listeners, keep in mind that if there's anything we mentioned here, anything Ricky mentioned that you missed, keep in mind we take all the notes for you, and you can find them for this particular episode at jamesmartell.com/AB349. And if you haven't done so already, consider giving us a rating or a review, especially if you've been listening to The Buzz for a long time and have gotten some value out of it. We would really appreciating a rating or a review, and you can do so at jamesmartell.com/iTunes. And also jamesmartell.com/Stitcher. I also invite you to come and hang out with us live every Thursday afternoon here on Webmaster Radio at 2 p.m. Pacific. And I'd also, if you have a question that you'd like to be answered live on the show, you can leave that question for us at jamesmartell.com/questions. And a final reminder that if you'd like to be alerted each week to new episodes, I invite you to subscribe to the Affiliate Buzz. I've included all of your subscription options at jamesmartell.com/subscribe. Ricky, thanks again. And to our listeners, thanks for listening to another edition of the Affiliate Buzz.